America's strength has always been that we are a melting pot with room for those who dare to dream. I've seen this firsthand, what it's like for new immigrants in Texas when I was growing up there. I've never met an immigrant looking for a free lunch. The question is, how do we reflect this in our 21st century immigration policy? It's absolutely vital for both the success of our immigration policy and for the purposes of national security that we do secure our border. Not to stop most immigrants from coming, we welcome them, and in fact, we should seek to increase legal immigration. I think it's absolutely vital that the Republican Party embrace more legal immigration. Unfortunately, like many of the debates in Washington, immigration has become a stalemate, where both sides are imprisoned by their own rhetoric or attached to sacred cows that prevent the possibility of a balanced solution. Immigration will not occur until conservative Republicans, like myself, become part of the solution. That's why I'm here today, to begin that conversation and to be part of the solution. I think the conversation needs to start by acknowledging that we aren't going to deport 12 million illegal immigrants. If you wish to work, if you wish to live and work in America, then we will find a place for you. In order to bring conservatives to this cause, however, those who work for reform must understand that a real solution must ensure that our borders are secure. We must also treat those who are here already with understanding and compassion without also unduly rewarding them for coming illegally. The first part of my plan, border security, must be certified by the Border Patrol and an investigator general. And then a little different than the bipartisan plan, I think it needs to come back to Congress and be voted on each year for several years. It's been the big complaint of conservatives that when we normalized people back in 1986, we never got a good border, and we got 11 million new people. So we want a report that really comes back and is voted on by Congress each year. Some may object to this, but if we don't, I don't think you'll get conservatives on board, which I think we need to get everybody on board that this is good for the country. I call this plan Trust But Verify. With this in place, I think conservatives will accept what needs to come next, an issue that must be addressed. What becomes of the 12 million undocumented workers in the United States? My plan is very simple. It will include work visas for those who are here and are willing to come forward and work. A bipartisan panel would determine the number of visas per year. High-tech visas would be expanded and have a priority. Special entrepreneurial visas would also be issued. Fairness is a key in any meaningful immigration reform, but this fairness will cut both ways. The modernization of our visa system and our border security would allow us to accurately track immigration. It would also enable us to let more people in and allow us to admit we are not going to deport the millions of people who are already here. This is where prudence, compassion, and thrift all point towards the same goal: bringing these workers out of the shadows and into becoming and being tax-paying members of society. Imagine 12 million people are already here coming out of the shadows to become new taxpayers. 12 million more people assimilating into society. 12 million more people becoming productive contributors. Conservatives, myself included, though, are wary of amnesty. In fact, if you read the news already, I think I'm already being accused of, and I haven't even given my speech yet. Amnesty is kind of who wants to make up the definition. But I'd say what we have now is de facto amnesty. The solution doesn't have to be amnesty or deportation. Maybe there's a middle ground that we call probation, where those who came illegally, who did break the law, have a period that they have to go through called a probationary period. My plan will not, though, and this is where I disagree with some in the bipartisan plan, will not impose a national ID card. It will also not have mandatory E-Verify. I don't mind if there's E-Verify that's maybe related to the tax code somehow, but I don't like the idea of making every business owner a policeman. Because if you do, subconsciously, your thinking is, well, it's more of a hassle to hire the brown person because the brown person may be here illegally. Even if I do the E-Verify, I may get punished. The punishment may be an enormous fine. I don't really like that way the E-Verify is set up unless it's voluntary or unless there's a way to attach it somehow to your tax status. But I don't think that we should be unfair to those who came to our country legally. Nor should we force business owners to become immigration inspectors, making them do the job the federal government has failed to do. In my plan, after an inspector general has verified that the border is secure, the report comes back and is voted on by Congress. In year 2, we could begin expanding more visas to more immigrants who are willing to work. I would have Congress vote each year for at least 5 years whether to approve or not approve a report on whether or not we are securing the border. I think it's the only way you'll get people to believe that this time we truly will secure the border. We should be proud, though, that so many people want to come to America, that it's still seen as the land of opportunity. Let's make it a land of legal work, though, not black market jobs. Let's make it a land of work, not welfare. Our land should be one of assimilation, not of hiding in the shadows. On immigration, common sense and decency have been neglected for far too long. Let's secure our borders, welcome our new neighbors, and practice the values of freedom and family for all to see. Now, some say to generalize about any ethnic group is to be a racist. Now, there's a hilarious episode on Seinfeld. Any Seinfeld fans? Where Jerry admits that he loves Asian women, but he frets and he worries. He says, is it racist to like a certain race? So it is with trepidation that I'd like to express my admiration today for the romance of the Latin culture. I'm a great fan of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. In Love in the Time of Cholera, I think Marquez probably inadvertently gives some advice that Republicans might consider. He says, human beings are not born once and for all on the day their mothers give birth to them. Life obliges them over and over again to give birth to themselves. Likewise, Republicans need to give birth to a new attitude towards immigrants, an attitude that sees immigrants as assets, not liabilities.